44% of the women in this room have a gene mutation called MTHFR. Does anyone know what the leading cause of postpartum depression is? The leading cause of postpartum depression in pregnant females. It is a complete inability to process folic acid. If you can't process folic acid and your OBGYN tells you to take a prenatal vitamin with 1400% of the folic acid, guess what happens? You go nuts. And you become depressed.
There's a lot to unpack here, so let's start with the basics. When you ingest folic acid, through a series of steps, it's converted into 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, which is the usable form of folate within the body. And one of the main enzymes responsible for this process is an enzyme called methyl tetrahydrofolate reductase, shortened as MTHFR. It's estimated that 60 to 70% of the population has at least one mutation in this enzyme, which reduces its functional activity, essentially meaning for the same amount of folic acid you will produce less of its active byproduct, 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate. The hypothesis is that if you give patients with this gene mutation folic acid, it will induce depression during and after pregnancy. This study sought to figure out if that was the case. They found that on average, folic acid supplementation during pregnancy protected against depression 21 months postpartum. And this was the most pronounced in those with the MTHFR 677TT genotype. And as you can see by this chart, patients with this genetic makeup actually have the slowest functioning of the MTHFR enzyme, meaning they have the worst MTHFR mutation you can have, and they saw the most pronounced benefits of folic acid supplementation during pregnancy for preventing against postpartum depression. Another large meta-analysis found that folic acid does indeed reduce symptoms of depression and the incidence of depression during and after pregnancy, meaning the claim in this video is demonstrably false. And it may also be dangerous, because as of yet, folic acid is the only proven form of folate to help prevent against neural tube defects. Other forms of folate, including 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, does appear to help increase 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate levels within the bloodstream, the molecule that does indeed appear to be protective against neural tube defects and depression. However, we do not have any long-term data indicating that this supplement is equivalent or superior to folic acid for the prevention of neural tube defects. In essence, not only is there no evidence indicating that folic acid has any risk of inducing depression, the current evidence indicates that folic acid supplementation, especially in those with the aforementioned gene mutation, actually helps prevent against postpartum depression and potently reduce the risk of neural tube defects. Again, there's indications that other forms of folate are just as, if not more effective, but there is no evidence that folic acid is inducing depression. Therefore, telling people to avoid it may actually be quite dangerous. That being said, if you would like an individualized approach to your nutrition and lifestyle to optimize your health, energy, and body composition, send me a DM to sign up for coaching.